Yo, 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 Papa 40 and check your rollies. It's crime time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. By the way, have you ever wanted the ultimate driving experience? Well, then you got to go to BMW of Atlantic City. They're easy to get to. They're minutes off of exit 37 of the Parkway, and you can locate them at 6037 Black Horse Pike and Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-568-9200 or find them on the web at www.bmwofatlanticcity.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. I am Matt Tsutsudi, along with Rob DePovepovia, Brian Darkwing Daly.
What up?
And, boys, the regular season has finally arrived.
I'm chomping at the bit.
It
Finally,
is here.
The NHL has come back
Yes.
into my life.
The real big one of the big four. Hockey is back in town, baby. And the Flyers are getting ready to start up on Friday. And then, of course, Brian, your Anaheim Ducks are getting ready to start up on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
And it is shaping up to be quite a fun season, especially for the Flyers. Why? Because two people we have been begging and pleading and crying to bring onto this team have finally been officially given their first go in a Flyers jersey. Who are those two, you may ask? Well, none other than Ivan Provorov and Travis Konecny. Welcome to the team, boys. I'm excited now. I'm really pumped up for Friday with those two new ones on the team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talk about a commitment to the youth. We talked about it last week on the show that Konecny and Provorov are just our A-list prospects that belonged on this team. Forget about some of the injuries that maybe sealed the deal, them making it. They earned it on their merit alone, and you can tell that based on the comments that Ron Hextall comes out with, that they earned it out of merit, not out of necessity, and expect to see these guys here all season long. That was just music to my ears.
Absolutely, and you know what? I'll say this before and I'll say it again. In Hextall, we trust. Because you want to know why? I trust in Ron Hextall. I believe in Ron Hextall. Why? Because look at what he's given us now. We now have a team with two of the hottest young prospects you can ask for. We've also got Shane Gostisbehere, who turned out to be one of the greatest draft picks we've ever made in the last, I'd say 10 years. And out of all of that, I mean, besides Claude Giroux, of course, but out of all of that, though, the Flyers are going to be exciting to watch because it's just going to be fun to see these guys grow and develop and be able to see them week in and week out and not have to wait till the Phantoms actually put a broadcast on one of the networks every once in a blue moon. We can actually see them live and in color, by the way. So the Flyers begin their regular season on Friday, and they will be matched up against the Los Angeles Kings, the former two-time Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings. And they will be in the Staples Center. So sadly, home ice will not be on our side. But the Flyers have played pretty well in the Staples Center in recent years. They really have not struggled out in L.A. They actually beat Los Angeles last time they were there. So putting all the past aside, though, what should we expect to see from this? Do we expect the Flyers to come out and kind of get a little buzzed early, or do you think the Flyers are going to be the one who gets buzzed on by the Los Angeles Kings because they are home? It is their home opener, so there are a couple of wild cards you got to throw in there.
Well, I mean, Quick coming off of a shaky season last year, he had a pretty decent, participating in the World Cup of Hockey and then coming back to the LA Kings camp. He's performed well overall. I think the Flyers are going to be the team that's buzzing and firing on all cylinders because of the preseason that they've had. And you could say, well, much like the NFL or maybe even Major League Baseball, preseason doesn't matter to a hell of beans. Well, this was the best preseason that this team, this city has seen in hockey since easily 2011. I love the scoring depth. I love them adding on or keeping, I should say, Jordan Wheel. Jordan Wheel was one of the unsung heroes during this preseason. I really like this offense. You got to love how they're playing defensively. Provorov, obviously a key addition to that, but Gostisbehere playing really well. We're going to be minus some players, which we will get to. But, overall, I mean, if you're looking at a complete team, I'm watching the Bruins-Flyers preseason game on the NHL Network, and it was the Bruins broadcasting team that was being shown there, and they were praising the goalie tandem of one Steve Mason and Michael Neuwirth, saying that, for a change, goaltending is not a problem in Philadelphia. Well, for once, a Boston Bruin analyst was correct.
Ain't that the truth?
And you can't teach that.
What we got over here? We got a couple of haters.
Okay.
Now, like I said, preseason's preseason, but I like the way what I've seen so far. Year two of Dave Hackstall implementing his system, having another competitive, fiery camp. The youth movement's here, gentlemen.
I love it. I love what we saw in the preseason, and the reason why I love it is because not only did we see Ivan Provorov, Konecny not only earn their spot onto the team, but also think about this: the injury problems that the Flyers have had during the preseason, you would think would look like it was going to cripple the team going into the season, but not only did Provorov persevere through all the injuries that were coming through where he didn't know who he was playing with half the time, he was able to keep himself calm and be able to keep himself moving forward. Remember we were talking about maturation and maturity last week on the show and why we think Provorov would make the team before Konecny would? Well, I think that says it all right there. Through all the problems that the Flyers have had on their blue line, Provorov's not one of them. Provorov has been one of the more mature players on the blue line, and you wouldn't think that considering the fact of his age. And then to add to it, Konecny doesn't even look like he's missing a single stride in NHL competition. It's like he was already born to play the NHL before he even got drafted. When he was in junior hockey, he was already playing NHL hockey. So why? Of course no one could compete with him. So with those two guys now making the team, that's just even better right there. But to add to it, what I really love to see from the regulars is I love the way Jake Voracek played. I really was excited with how Jake played.
Yes.
That's the big thing I take out of that. Wayne Simmons, I like how he's getting himself started early. The Wayne train doesn't know the difference between preseason and regular season, clearly.
Choo-choo, mother...
Yep. And Jake Voracek, on the other hand, man, he's starting to look like Jake the Snake again. He's really starting to look like Jake the Snake. I'm like, yes, come on, bring back Jake the Snake. I want to see that top line be as dangerous as it needs to be for this regular season. Giroux and Voracek tandem again, baby. I want to see it again because that was awesome when it was firing on all cylinders.
Right.
Well, I think they're putting Travis on that first line too, aren't they?
Oh, and it's going to be even better. It's going to be even better.
I could see him either on the first line or the third line.
Yeah, but either way, though, it's going to be a huge, huge move for the Flyers right there to have him on anywhere on this team.
Well, here's the thing. Going into Friday, 10:30.
Yeah.
On CSN.
Mm-hmm.
Flyers season opener against the LA Kings.
Mm-hmm.
This LA Kings team, I'm looking at the line combinations for this year, and it is a different team. You have Devin Setaguchi, who made the roster. Playing on the first line with Kopitar and Brown, Tyler Toffoli, Teddy Purcell, and Carter on the second line. And then after that, you don't really have much. You have solid players in Dwight King and Trevor Lewis. You don't really have much there depth-wise. Defensively, LA is still in my opinion, still one of the best defensive teams in all of the NHL.
Yeah.
Jake Muzzin, Drew Doughty.
Anze Kopitar.
Kopitar's on
Oh, I forgot Kopitar left. Yeah.
No, Kopitar's still there. He's a center.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
That's all good. I have those moments.
Both
Alec
of y'all are
Martinez.
mixed up, right now, man.
Hey, I'm just excited, I can't help it. I can't hold it back.
I'm a little salty right now. The Flyers home openers on the Comcast network. That's bullshit. It should be on CSN, no?
No, I mean they're the same thing.
Yeah,
it
but
really is the same thing. But
we're getting. Why is the hockey being broadcasted on the minor channel when they should be on the major channel, the home opener?
And I guarantee
the season opener.
I guarantee you, I know why, because the Sixers are probably on the other channel.
Yeah, that's
at
bullshit.
10:30 though.
That's why I'm pissed.
They might be away. No, not for Oh yeah. No. He mean the home opener, not the season opener.
Oh, you're talking the home opener?
No. You just said that the Kings game this Friday.
It's on CSN Philly.
It is on CSN.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
okay.
I thought you meant the home opener on that one.
Oh, no. Yeah, because that's when basketball season would be kicking off. No, I thought you said that it was on that shitty channel. And
Oh, no.
No.
See, the excitement's buzzing around all of us. We're getting everything mixed up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get this. We got to get collected, calm, cool.
Right.
Take some deep breaths. All right, now let's move forward. All right.
To chime in on the lines real quick, it's actually going to be Michael Raffle moving back to the top line to play with Drew and Simmons. Konecny's going to play on the second line with Sean Couturier and Jakub Voracek. Then you got Cousins, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and Dale Weiss on the third line. Fourth line, Chris Vanderbilt, Boyd Gordon, Matt Reed on the fourth line.
He
that's where
deserves
Matt
it.
Reed-
Yeah, he
yeah.
belongs there on that fourth line. Anyway, but
And he might be a healthy scratch for Wheel if he keeps it up too.
yeah, absolutely. But I like that second line. I like that combo. That looks dangerous right there. Jake and Konecny. Ooh.
Agreed. But to jump back to the LA side, the Flyers have to get buzzing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Especially to beat a defense like this. Their defense is strong. And they have a really good goaltender in Jonathan Quick. And it's, they have to come out buzzing. They have to come out. They have to be faster. The Flyers have to get going.
Yeah.
They have to make this game. They have to make it a statement.
Yeah, they absolutely have to. But you know what I like is the fact that they're going into LA. They're going to have that home opener. But here's the thing, though. All the pressure really is on Los Angeles right now. Because LA, they did not come off of the season that they wanted. They struggled last year. They made the playoffs. Yes, granted, they made the playoffs. But even in that series against San Jose, they did not look good. They looked terrible against San Jose. And even when they won that one game in OT, like, yeah, what's the big deal? They're still going to beat you guys. Like, seriously, San Jose was killing it in that postseason last year. But the weirdest thing about it is I think all that pressure is on them. All the pressure is on Johnny Quick. They got to prove to the whole world that, hey, listen, what happened last year is not going to happen this year. And the team is different. It's a very different team than the team that won the 2 Stanley Cups.
Right.
I mean, there's no Mike Richards, clearly. There's a lot of personnel changing going on.
No Justin Williams.
No Justin Williams, who is kind of like a Stanley Cup good luck charm because apparently he's won 6 of them. I mean, seriously. Man cannot stop winning. But anyway, until he got to Washington. But that's a different story. But anyway, I like this game, though. I like it because I like the fact that the Flyers don't play bad in Los Angeles. They never really have. And they're facing a team that's different from the Stanley Cup teams. They played well against the team that won the Stanley Cups. And they haven't played bad against Johnny Quick in the past. They've gotten to him. I mean, their defense has broken down against the Flyers. It has broken.
I think this road trip to start out for the Flyers will be a blessing over more than a curse. A lot of teams, they do all their bonding on the road. And when you have long road trips like this, it's only beneficial to teams and teammates and bonding and getting to know your players, getting to know, what they like to do. Anaheim has the same deal. They have a 5-game road trip.
Right.
Ooh.
To start the season. They go to Dallas on Thursday, and then they jump out and they do full-on East Coast. Devils, Islanders, Flyers, which I'll be at that game.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's one other team. I forget who they're playing.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have gotten tickets.
It was kind of a last-minute thing.
Oh.
And I'm glad I got them when I did because, with the new car,
Yeah, I got
money's
you.
going to be tight.
I got you, brother. Anyway.
But I think it's going to be more beneficial for the Flyers to have this road trip early.
Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be beneficial. The only game that concerns me on the road right now is really, strangely enough, the Coyotes. And the only reason why is because that team looks like it's going to actually make a little bit of noise this year. I mean, will they be the team to beat? Probably not. But they will make some noise. They're really ramping this team up. They got some young talent on that team. They're fiery. They're fast. And also, they've got a Smith in goal, so, he's never easy to score on in the past. That's the game that really concerns me. Even against Chicago, I'm not all that concerned because, think about it, we've played well against Chicago in their building. They've played good against us in our building. We've played good against them in their building. For whatever reason, we do really good out in Chicago. Right. It's Arizona that actually concerns me in this first road trip coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the combinations for Arizona too. This team has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
First line, Max Domi, Martin Hansel, Radim Verbata. Second line, Dylan Strome, Christian Dvorak, Anthony Duclair. Third line, I can't even read that. Jordan Martinook. I'm assuming that's how you say his name. Brad Richardson, Shane Doan. There's depth on this team. And you putting Shane Doan on the third line is only going to help that.
Yeah.
And they've always had a strong defense.
Yeah.
With led by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. But now you bring in guys like Alex Goligoski. You have you bring in Luke Shen, who I'm not a huge fan of, but he can help out that defense. And I believe Jamie McBain is a free agent.
Jamie McBain. Yeah. But
You know who's a big fan of Luke Shen? This guy over here.
yeah.
Mattson Sudi.
Hey, if
loves Luke Shen.
I wish Rocco Gudis hadn't gotten suspended for that 6 games just so he could injure Luke Shen. That's the only reason why. He's not even a flyer anymore. He can't even screw up this team, but I still hate his guts. Like, seriously.
I wish they suspended him longer. But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I hate Luke Shen's guts. You hate Rocco Gudis' guts. But don't get me wrong, though, and I'm going to address that right now, as a matter of fact. I hate the fact that Gudis got himself suspended right off the bat. And here's my reasoning for it. Because you got a vote of confidence from the front office, getting an addition to your contract, getting a promise that you will get another 4 years. And then this is how you repay that? You get suspended for 6 games before the season even gets going? And then to add to the problems, now it puts that thought in the back of your head. How long is it going to take before he gets suspended again? How long is it going to take before he does something stupid again? And then you start asking yourself that question. Now,
how long have I been saying that?
Now, hey, listen, I'm not saying I didn't think that. I'm not saying you didn't say that. I'm just saying that I was saying maybe they thought they could change his style of play and maybe they could turn him into something better than what we've been seeing. Maybe they thought that. But here's the problem. He's already gotten suspended before the season even begins. At this point, I'm really starting to wonder, you know what? Maybe he's just not listening to Dave Haxtell. Maybe he's not listening to anyone who's trying to tell him, hey, maybe you should be smarter when you play out there. Because you know what? If he gets suspended again during the regular season, if I'm Haxtell, I look right at him and say, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many years you got in your contract. You better get used to sitting on your ass because you're not going to see the ice.
No,
period.
He's hurting the team when he does stuff like that. And that was just stupid. First of all, it was a late hit. There was no need for it. And two, it was just a dumb play.
Yeah,
like
it was unnecessary.
Like the hit on Jimmy Vesey. Like that, it was completely unnecessary. You didn't need to do that. You see, you outweigh Jimmy Vesey by like 50 pounds. Pin him against the boards.
And what annoys me is that, like you and me, Rob, we were saying this last year, we saw good play from him. We saw him being able to play the opposite side of the spectrum. And yet, he's going back to his old ways. Like, you know, damn it, man. Like, seriously, you were starting to do something good there in that second half, and now look at what you're doing.
Well, 2 things. One, first of all, Boston's Austin Czarniak deserved it. I don't give a
Well, he's a Bruin, so, you know, he's a scumbag.
No. But all kidding aside, though, you know, Hextall came out and spoke on this, and he said, you know, it's something that Gudis has got to be aware of. Adding Gudis is a very effective player. He's got to play physical. There's just the odd thing that he has to take out of his game. So, you know, they're recognizing it now, and you know, he could see his way to when he comes back from suspension to be you know, a healthy scratch unless he can get some discipline in his game. I'm finally drinking your guys' Kool-Aid. He is playing a little over the line. I love the physical defenseman. I always will.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I got nothing against him playing physical. He's a physical presence. You need that type of player in your lineup. But you have guys that are in the AHL system right now that play the same type of way, that play a lot more disciplined and are a lot more valuable than Rocco Gudis.
I mean,
like Samuel Moran.
Samuel Moran is that kind of who I was hitting at.
Well, I think look at it this way. Look at Chicago's defense back when they were winning Stanley Cups. They were a very physical defense back at that day, and so was Los Angeles. But yet the difference between them is they weren't getting caught on stupid penalties, and they weren't making big errors in judgment. Every once in a while, there'd be the undisciplined penalty that would be put in, but Darryl Sutter would nip it in the bud immediately, and then you wouldn't see it again. You know, that's what I'm trying to say is that you're right. The physical defenseman does still have a spot in the game, but he's just got to take that odd thing out of the game like you were saying. But again, We've seen him do that.
Like Hextall was saying.
Yeah,
at the photo,
we've seen him do that, though. That's what annoys me. So that's the beginning of our Flyers talk. We'll come back with some more on the other side. But first, I want to talk to you guys about our show sponsor, none other than the Scanzano Sports Center. They're located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. That sucked. Anyway, on the other side, we'll be talking more about the Flyers and how exciting this season is starting to become. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Yo, bitch, pay attention, I'm talking. This is the Hockey Happy Hour here on A2DRadio.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey.
Was that a WWE quote, or were you just speaking off the cuff?
That was off the cuff.
Oh, man.
Rob, you're going to talk to you like that?
Oh, yeah.
What makes you think I
What
was
he said?
talking?
Oh, yeah.
What makes you think I was talking to him?
Oh, well, that was just rude.
I was looking at you when I said it.
Oh, it looked like you were looking at Rob to me. I'm just saying.
I was trying to see his
I
reaction.
am a bitch. He's just I'm not trying to pull punches here.
Welcome back, ladies.
Scumbag.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. We're brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located in 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Always be ready for tax season, ladies and gentlemen. Be ready, be prepared, get Gibson Mayer. All right, move on to our home opener against the Anaheim Ducks before we address the injury problems that the Flyers have now recently run into. Yeah, I see you, Brian. Yes, your Anaheim Ducks come to town.
I took my hoodie off.
To try and raid Philadelphia and take away 2 points.
Yep.
But the Flyers will have to defend their home turf in their home opener. That's exciting. And it's weird, isn't it? The irony that the two Hockey Happy Hour teams meet each other in the first home game here in the Philadelphia area for the season. Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. And you think about it, too, like, a lot of playing the West Coast teams right off the bat, getting it out of the way. I don't know if I like it or not. I mean, maybe it'll benefit them schedule-wise to where if you get some of the games when they're on the road, that is, not the Anaheim game, but when they're on the road, you rather get those out of the way than have them during a crucial part of the season. But I kind of like starting against my interdivision rivals and finishing against it and then have all the other teams in between. So,
Well, I mean, they're obviously, they're going to finish this season off with all the division rivals and all that stuff.
Well, that's gonna make the playoff race that much more fun.
You face the 4 West Coast teams first in LA, Anaheim, Arizona, and Chicago, and then you're going into your division.
Mm-hmm.
Because after Anaheim gets a W and clears on out of there, Carolina's gonna swoop on in and take an L.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
Well, that's
about
just
that,
uncalled
Brian.
for.
No, you're just number one in our eyes. But anyway. Well, you see, there's a few birds flying around right now. But anyway,
few birds, no ducks.
Yeah. But the Flyers flying past Anaheim, getting a W.
Yeah, right.
And then they would face their interdivisional rivals, starting off with Carolina. That would be their first divisional opponent of the regular season, which would be Saturday the 22nd. Actually, we'll miss that game. I'm going to be busy on that Saturday. But anyway.
It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
I think. Carolina is much improved.
Yeah, they
Very
are
much improved.
They are much improved. It's gonna be interesting because it'll be the first division matchup, and we're gonna see how the Flyers interact with. And strangely enough, it'll be their first Eastern Conference opponent too. So we're gonna find out how's the Eastern Conference looking this year for the first time. That's gonna be weird. That's weird. Usually, you know what the Eastern Conference is gonna be like, just like that. Now we're gonna wait. We're gonna have to find out and see. Hopefully, Carolina gets off to a really crappy start. That would be really nice to see. Or maybe Shane Gostisbehere will just score another goal on them in overtime, and we get another win. Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I mean, he likes to score in overtime against that team for some odd reason.
Yeah, I know he does. I don't blame him. I like to score on Carolina. We always love scoring on Carolina. That's what Carolina likes to do, get scored on. But anyway.
I like to score when I'm in Carolina, specifically Myrtle Beach. Yeah. I get it.
So whether you're scoring in Carolina, you're in someone in Carolina, or you're facing someone in Carolina, either way, it's a good time.
Oh, wow.
What?
I'm looking at Anaheim's lines. They're completely different this year.
That's your team. How did you not know that?
Well, I didn't know the line combinations. I didn't know who made the roster. I checked NHL last night to see what the final roster moves were.
You all didn't know that Michael Raffle was on the first line, so shut the... Oh, that's close.
I knew Michael Raffle was on the first line.
Yeah, you did it.
I'm not a huge Flyers fan, so I'm not supposed to know that. But how am I supposed to know that Nick Ritchie, Ryan Getzlaf, and Jakob Silfverberg are going to be on the first line?
That is interesting.
Mason Raymond, Antoine Vermette, Corey Perry on line number 3.
Wow, that is strange.
Andrew Cogliano, Ryan Kessler, Nick Sorensen, who earned his spot on the roster, line 3. Ryan Garbett, Chris Wagner, Jared Boll, line 4.
Wow, that is strange.
Keep in mind, Ricard Raquel and Hampus Lindholm aren't signed yet.
That is true. They are
Cam
not.
Fowler, Josh Manson, defensive pairing number 1. Simone Dupre and Kevin Bieksa, number 2. Jacob Larson and Semi Vatanen at number 3.
Did you say Vermette was going to be centering the second line?
He is.
Did he have just an unbelievable camp? Because that's really surprising.
Every game I've seen, I didn't see him play.
Yeah. Maybe because he's great at face-offs. He is great
He's
at
a really good
face-offs.
face, but so is Ryan Kessler, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm surprised that Kessler's not there. Maybe they're punishing him for not showing up for Team USA.
I don't blame
Well,
him.
then there should be a lot of players that are getting punished for that one.
Oh, that would screw Buffalo so badly because they got like half Team USA anyway.
Well, I mean, you got Corey Perry, who's a dirty goal scorer easily in his sleep that's on a second line, too.
Yeah, that is strange, though, because you would think Corey Perry would be top line. You would always think that.
Yeah, you would always think that. But you also, I like the idea of spreading out your scoring, too.
It is.
Yeah,
and-
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the main thing of Anaheim, which makes them even more dangerous, is always spread out that scoring depth because you always need to. But with all that being said, we do need to address that the Flyers, going into this regular season, we have to keep in note that there are a couple of wild cards coming into this, and that is injuries. And also the suspension to Rocco Gudis, which, anyway, with that frustration on high, the injuries, unfortunately, did hit the Flyers, and we did lose a couple of guys.
Yeah, defenseman Michael Del Zotto, which is huge, will miss 4 to 5 weeks due to a lower body injury. And, of course, they don't specify what that lower body injury is.
Of course.
And also Flyer center Scott Lawton will miss 3 to 4 weeks because of a lower body injury. Lawton's a real shame because him and Nick Cousins are really building up a nice chemistry this preseason, and that's going to be put on hiatus. But it's 2 or 3 weeks. You can battle back from that soon enough. Maybe even if it dips into a fourth week and not really miss a beat. Del Zotto, I'm a little concerned about because this is becoming a theme. There's a big trend with injuries with him now. And it directly correlates to what our poll question is how big of a loss is Michael Del Zotto? Is it minor, major, irrelevant, or who cares? And you can vote on at A2DRadio_com Twitter page. I think it's going to be a major one, believe it or not. We have Gostisbehere and Streit that can play the power play, can play, even strength. Provorov might get involved a little bit more on the power play now, minus Michael Del Zotto. But Michael Del Zotto is a huge asset in terms of offensive defenseman. And now you're taking one of the key cogs. If this injury thing becomes a trend, I don't know how long you can continue to go with the well. I mean, he's signed, but maybe look to move him later in the season before the trade deadline, maybe in the offseason to address another team's need or another need of the team, and then clear another spot for, say, a Samuel Morin or a Robert Hogg. I just don't think I don't know. I mean, Del Zotto is a microcosm. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, unfortunately, they posted something else about Del Zotto. They're placing him on long-term injury reserve.
Oh, it's official today. It's long term.
Yeah, a couple.
Wow.
I'm seeing a couple tweets on here on Bleacher Report.
Well, I think that pretty much says it all for what they've got in store for Michael Del Zotto, which is sitting down. But with that being said, I think you have to look at it this way. It's time for him to pack his bags and head out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, the thing of it is, though, is that if he's gone for the whole season or a big bulk of the season with IR, he's never going to be able to increase his value for a trade. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they ink him to a 4-year deal last year?
2 years.
It was 2 years. Okay.
2 years.
All right, well, that's not terrible then. I mean, maybe you could buy out that second year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been nothing but hurt for the Flyers. But when he's on the ice, he's been good.
He has been, and that's what we were talking about yesterday, me and Rob, is like he's a good player if he can stay healthy. And that's the biggest problem. He cannot stay healthy. And that it just makes you realize, you know what? As good as you are, we still have young players that are just as good as you are. At this point, we just got to make a decision. Just like, sorry, you can't stay healthy. We'd love to keep you here for a little while longer, but we can't.
Right.
It's just business. Business at the end of the day has to take precedent over everything. You want to keep the team going, you got to trim the fat. And if Del Zotto becomes fat, he's got to go.
Yeah, maybe he gets
but not physically. But,
Yeah, maybe he gets injured too much from like plowing so much trim. You know what I mean? He could, slow down the women department. He wouldn't have so many groin problems. I don't know.
I don't know. You got to talk to Lisa Ann about that one.
Yeah,
but anyway.
But yeah, I mean, he's hurt. He's been hurt. Just about every year he's been in Philadelphia, and even before he came to Philadelphia.
No. 1 year he was not. His first year he was not hurt. He actually played a full season. The other years, yes, he's been hurt at some point, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, there's players in every sport that are like Delzato that just can't stay healthy, but when they're healthy, they're effective.
They are.
Perfect example is Arian Foster of the Miami Dolphins now. I mean, he's a very effective player on the field, but he spends too much time off it.
Yeah.
Because he's always hurt.
If you can't stay healthy, then all your talent just goes right out the window.
Pretty
and there's
much.
a lot of talent
Turns
that
into
goes
a
there.
waste, yeah.
Because he plays just as physical as he does as a sniper. So, his loss, I say, I voted for that it's a minor loss because they do have other up-and-coming defensemen, i.e. Ivan Provorov, that, will take the reins and run with it from here. But I wouldn't doubt, blame people for voting, irrelevant or maybe even who cares if you're not a Flyers fan.
I'm voting for it irrelevant because, there's guys that can replace them. They have talent. They have talent in that defense, especially in the AHL. I mean, Provorov's pretty much taken a spot on this lineup. So, I mean, to say that, it's a major or minor losses, at this point, it doesn't really matter either way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think at this point, though, we've gotten what we could out of him. I think it's time that you got to move on. You got to make decisions. It's not easy,
As much as it is a game, it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business just as much. I mean, when it was time for Danny B to go, Danny B had to go. And that hurt because we all love Danny B. We didn't want to see him go, but his production was down. We had no choice at the end of the day.
Right.
But hey, you know what? That's what it is.
Little quick question though. You think? They said Provorov was making the team either way. You think that's true? You think Provorov is making this team if Michael Delzato is still healthy?
To be honest with you, I honestly don't think so.
No?
I think Provorov actually sits for a little bit, and then they see what they can do with him. Because honestly, Hextall's been trying to do the slow build approach.
Right.
I honestly don't think that's true. I think that really at the end of the day, Michael Delzato got hurt. They couldn't get another season in hockey in the minors and the juniors for Provorov.
Right.
So they realized, okay, we have to bring him up now because we don't have anybody else who's more ready than Provorov. And also, Delzato's going to be out for long term.
Right.
We have no choice now. I honestly don't think he would be on this team if Michael Delzato was healthy.
See, I'm not sure though because you put Delzato back into the sixth defenseman, and could you honestly start Brandon Manning or even the aforementioned Racco Gudis ahead of Provorov? I mean, I'd much rather have Provorov than Brandon Manning.
Of course, but it's just again, I have to think of the man. I think of what he's done. Like in the past, we've seen him start guys who are not as talented as the other, just to get him more maturation in the lower system.
You can even make the same argument for Andrew McDonald, who's going to be starting in the first pairing with Shane Gostisbehere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because Andrew McDonald, who's Mr. Mediocre, is going to be with Shane Gostisbehere.
But he raises his level of play. If you notice, when they were paired last year, McDonald, I was like, wow, where did this come from? I haven't seen this since you were wearing a New York Islanders jersey. Oh,
I think it's him and Gostisbehere. I think Gostisbehere helps elevate that game for him. Honestly,
he elevates everybody on the ice's game. Let's face facts here, but
True.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Provorov. I don't. Like, unlike some of the other guys that, the B-level prospects that need the maturation, I don't think he needed the maturation. He's ready to go. He's one of the young stars in this league that's going to compete with other young stars that we've been talking about a little bit on Fantasy Dominance Now earlier today. And honestly, I would say that Manning would be the odd man out, not Provorov, even if Delzato was healthy.
I don't disagree. I think it's going to be between Manning and McDonald.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens when.
They haven't been shy of putting McDonald with the Phantoms. That's for sure.
No,
well, he put him where he belongs. Anyway, well, the Flyers got an interesting schedule coming up here on this beginning of the regular season, and we've already talked about them going on the West Coast swing, taking care of both Los Angeles, Arizona, and Chicago, and then facing Anaheim in their home opener, then Carolina. Then they have an away game. They have the away game, then they have the home game. The first one of the regular season.
Home and home.
Yep, the home and home. Montreal will be their first game, and they'll be in Montreal. Then they come home to face Jack Eichel and his Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, it's not.
It's not home and home against the same team, but they are going back home
Wow.
to face a very tough, very young, very hungry Buffalo Sabres team.
Yeah, that might be 2 losses right there.
I mean, Montreal maybe, But then again, we've seen Montreal systematically not play well against the Flyers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a habit that they've had for the last 6 years. I don't know why, but they just don't play well against Philadelphia.
But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if this team just starts off red hot, like 17-3-2. Like I know that's lofty aspirations, but I'm really jacked on what I saw here in preseason, and I mean, I get it, it's different from the regular season, but I think they're just coming in, all wheels turning. In there might be something nice magical start, which would be great because usually this team gets off to such shitty starts.
Yeah, this is true, and they usually have to make a great run at the second half just to make the damn playoffs.
Right. And I'm saying, that's little. 17-3. That's ridiculous. I don't think anybody, the greatest, the Montreal Canadiens of the '60s probably couldn't even done that. But you hear what I'm saying though. I really expect this team to just be really hot right off the bat.
Yeah, and then they face Buffalo. Then they go up, they face Arizona. So they get their 2 games against Arizona out of the way early, which I actually like because I don't like facing a dangerous team late in the season. I really don't. A team you don't face often. I'd rather face a team like Arizona, get our away game with them out of the way, and get our home game out of the way with them, and we don't have to see them for the rest of the year.
Before they come together as a team, before they get their own identity. I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah, I don't like facing Arizona late in the season. I think anyone, and I'm pretty sure Brian will attest to this, you don't want to have to face a team that's young and hungry late in a season. It's just not fun when you're trying to make a playoff spot.
No, and imagine if they're not in the playoffs. They're going to be playing spoiler that whole time.
Absolutely. And they're going to be facing Anaheim at least, 4 times this year, most likely. 4 or 3. They're going to be 5. Oh, they're facing them 5 times.
Arizona? Yeah, 5.
Oh, their division?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 5 times. So you're going to be facing them. Are you facing them more home or more away?
I don't know about all that.
But still,
I'd have to look it up.
that's not a team that you want to face late in the season. Now, moving forward, then, mark it down, ladies and gentlemen, October 29th, 2 days before Halloween. Mark it down on CSN Philly. Coming to town, the defending Stanley Cup champions, Sidney, whiny, concussed-ass Crosby, his Pittsburgh Penguins, come to town. And I want to see it. I want to see the Flyers prove to the world that we're building something great here and shove it right up the Stanley Cup champs' asses in Philadelphia. Terrific. That will be a beautiful day if we can do that. It'll be great.
If Sidney Crosby is playing, according to Mike Kleinkoff on FDN saying that he's more day-to-day and has already started skating, but, concussion problems in the past, may plague him in his early part of the season, so it's good to face off pretty early on. Yeah, it'd be nice. Definitely be nice to get a little win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's always good.
And then our final game of January, an away game against Carolina. And that would end our October month of games.
I would say October, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at these Penguin lines with a healthy Sidney Crosby. Man, this team's maybe even stronger than they were last year when they won the Cup.
They're a scary team. And now you have Matt Murray, who has that experience already under his belt. Odds are, I still don't know if they've decided who their starting goalie is going to be. But even so, you're platooning Fleury and Murray. That could be a very lethal combination.
No, it depends on Murray's health. And think if he's healthy, he's got to be their starter.
Yeah, he's out for another 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's
right?
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's right.
I'm motivated. We're getting something going here. I know we're getting something going here. I want to see it. I want to see the Penguins come in with their snotty-ass attitudes. Like, oh, no, we're the Stanley Cup champions. We're the greatest thing in the world. Crosby takes it up the ass. We're all good here. This is awesome. And then you know what happens? We take all that and we say, screw you, because we're the Flyers and we are going to be better than you.
It all depends.
Give it time.
The HBK line had a lot of magic last year.
They did.
That was last year.
You
don't know if that's going to continue or not. I mean, you would think so based on where each player is in their career, but as quickly as it comes is as quickly as it can fall.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Your lines aren't always going to be that great.
That's right.
You never do know. We've got no comment from Brian over here. We got absolutely nothing from Brian here. He's just like, okay.
I'm just letting you rant and rave.
I'm just so pumped right now because you know what? I just want to see it. I want to see it so bad. I hate Pittsburgh. I mean, Mikey's a cool Pittsburgh fan, but I don't like the rest of Pittsburgh's fan base. I don't like them because they're all ignorant because all of them win championships, quote unquote. And they just make themselves like, oh, yeah, we're the greatest sports city in the world. I was like, you know what? Screw off. Because quite frankly, it's easy to be a fan of a team when your team wins, you know? When your team loses and you could still be loyal, that's a true fan base right there. And most of them are front runners anyway. So...
School you.
But anyway, so there's my little rant on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Get used to that. You'll be hearing a lot this season. Anyway, with that being
Remind me
said...
to mute his microphone when he starts ranting like that this season.
Yeah, well, about Pittsburgh?
Yes.
What? Who wants to live in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh looks like it's a terrible place. Anyway...
And people say that about Philly. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but, Philly depends on... But, it's, we all know Philly's not...
Who are
a great
those
place.
people?
Yeah.
I'll cut their Achilles.
No, you're not a Devils fan. So,
Right.
But, and there's a disgusting fan base. Don't get me started on them. Anyway, with that being said...
Save it for around the league.
Around the league. All right. Speaking of that, we got to go to break. When we come back, we'll talk about the topics going around the NHL before I go off on the entire New Jersey fan base because that's something that I love to do. But anyway... When we come back, it's Around the League time, talking about what's going on. Brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. They're located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour, and we will see you guys right after this.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
You know what, Pittsburgh? You know what's about to happen? You know what? You just made the list!
Yes! Yes!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. We're brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals, located at 2154 East Cambria Street in Philadelphia, PA. You give them a call, 267-314-7368. They got tables, chairs, tents, linens, anything for your party needs. And they are located at www.libertyeventrentals.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. Now it's time to leave the Flyers talk. I know it's hard because, it's, the fire, the passion, it's all here. It's getting ready. But we have to step away from being all flyered up for a quick second because we got to talk about what else is going on around the league. And before we get to the topics, I actually want to go to you, Brian.
Why? What'd I do?
Nothing, but you just made the list. Anyway,
I'm already on the list.
Yeah, you made the list again. Anyway, what I need you to do is I need you to give me an analysis of what do you expect to see in Anaheim's Game 1 of their regular season.
Well, they're playing a very, very tough Dallas Stars team who I believe undersold themselves in the playoffs last year. They haven't really changed their roster much. They brought in veteran Yuri Hudler, and that should help bring a little scoring depth to this team. But all in all, I'm not expecting much out of Anaheim this year. I'm expecting them to squeak into the playoffs. The more I saw this team in preseason, the more I realized that this team is probably more of a wild card team than anything.
Wow.
Yeah, I expect them to go out there and push Dallas around a little bit. But all in all, unless this team absolutely made the right roster moves in preseason, I'm not expecting much here. I'm
not buying this. I think this is reverse psychology. There were so many lofty expectations last year that they fell short on. So you set the bar low, and then
Well, maybe.
No, I mean I get it though. The restructuring.
Restructuring, new head coach. Happens Lindholm and Rickard Rakell are missing from the lineup because they can't seem to get a deal done with them. I believe Lindholm wants a 8-year, $6.5 million a year contract, and then
they are restricted free agents.
They are restricted free agents. And Rakell, I believe, wants $4.5 million. I believe over 6 years or something like that. That's what I heard. I'm not sure about that, but they need to get those guys back under contract and back in the lineup. They missed the entire training camp.
Do you even remotely think that they trade their rights?
No.
No? Just not
somebody
even.
else? Yes.
But not their rights.
But not those two.
Okay.
I'm considering anybody else. Like Cam Fowler, they want to trade Cam Fowler for an Eastern Conference team.
As long as he doesn't go to a divisional rival, I think I don't care. So you could go somewhere else. Go to Boston. They need help. No, don't go to Boston. Actually, people avoid Boston like the plague. Don't go to Boston. I want the Bruins to suck for the next 50 years.
I mean, the city's really nice.
Ask the Cleveland
No.
Indians,
I didn't say anything about the city. I just want the Bruins to suck.
No,
I don't care about anything else.
I hate the Bruins. I'm just saying. I like the city's awesome.
But anyway, with that being said, final prediction: win or loss?
Loss in a shootout.
Loss in a shootout. Okay, then. So you do walk away with at least a point, and you're 0-1 to begin the season. All right, Rob. Now it's time to go to the topics of what's going around the NHL.
Well, ironically, the team that the Flyers match up first against, the Los Angeles Kings, share another thing in common with the Flyers. They, too, have a suspended player, and that's Tanner Pearson. He's suspended through the second game of the regular season for an illegal check to the head. So he'll be minus that. They'll be minus Pearson in that opening game.
That's actually good news.
Yeah.
I like that. Tanner Pearson's not there. Good.
Tanner Pearson's he's a strong player too, so that helps the Flyers and really hurts the Kings.
It does. That is wonderful news.
Absolutely. Some retirement news. This was put down last Wednesday, October the 5th. Veteran NHL defenseman Dan Boyle announces his retirement after 17 NHL seasons with 4 teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, and I
No,
even.
3? Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off.
He played for the Rangers. He played for the Sharks. He played for the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
He did play for the Lightning. Okay.
He actually won the cup with the Lightning.
Yes, he did.
Now, but I will say this, though, and I did write a blurb on this. I actually think that he was one of the better players that the NHL had at that time period because he was a hard-working player and he really was good. And I'm not saying that I was a big fan of him or anything like that because he didn't play for the Flyers, so not like I cared. But you know what? When you see him play, he was always knew what he had to do. He always got back on time. He always made that good block. He was always clutch enough to really be a strong defensive player. I think he definitely was he was a solid defensive player.
All good points, but there are no blurbs. Only articles, my man. And it was a good article.
Thank you.
I enjoyed editing it.
Yes, and then congratulations to Dan Boyle on your career. Having a good one and having your Stanley Cup victory, which should have been the Flyers that year. But anyway,
He's definitely been the better of the 2 brothers that I know of in the league.
Yeah. What's the other one's name? I forget.
It's Dan and Brian.
Brian
and then
Boyle,
I think
there we go.
There's another Boyle in the league too somewhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. About that.
I know Brian Boyle. He's a scumbag.
Yeah. Now Brian Boyle's the scumbag of the two, not Danny.
Now, speaking of the Tampa Bay Lightning, on January 13th, 2017, they're going to be honoring Marty St. Louis as they retire his number 26.
Definitely deserving. I mean, no doubt about it in my mind. The only other person that follows him is Vinny LeCavier. So, former Flyer.
You think about the Lightning, you really can't think of very many names, but the names you can think of, guys like Dave Anderchuk, Dino Ciccarelli, Vinny
Ciccarelli was on that
LeCavalier. He was. I think he was a part of the Stanley Cup team.
Yeah.
Vinny and Marty St. Louis. Those are really the 4 names that really pop out to me.
And
Darren Pupa.
And maybe Cabby Bullen. And maybe Cabby Bullen when he was goaling for them because he was he was a really good goalie at the time. I mean, he sucked eventually, but he was good that year.
I mean, the team that really sticks out to my mind with Happy Bullen was Phoenix.
He did get his start with Phoenix because he was originally a Winnipeg Jet, and the original Winnipeg Jets eventually moved to Arizona. But he did win a cup with Tampa Bay. So can't do that in Phoenix. Can't do a lot in Phoenix actually.
Right.
So
No, sir. A big trade that went through the NHL ranks last Friday. The Edmonton Oilers traded Nail Yakupov and their number 1 pick in their number one pick in the 2012 draft to St. Louis Blues for a prospect and a pick. I'm surprised the Oilers gave up on Yakupov. I really am.
Well, he didn't really live up to his full potential, really. He just kind of was just a body, and maybe it was the system. And I don't necessarily blame Yakupov for that because the Oilers have not been able to get a sustained coach. They've not been able to get a sustained system in place. They haven't been getting to sustain anything, not even sustained goaltending. There's so many things Edmonton lacks that I don't really blame Yakupov for not being able to live up his potential. When you got a rotating door of coaches, you hear one philosophy one year, now you're hearing another this year. No wonder the kid can't live up to his potential. He doesn't know who to believe.
Exactly.
It's still, I don't think he was in the right place anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in St. Louis. I think it will be a benefit for both. I think Yakupov no longer is wasting his time in Edmonton. He goes down to St. Louis. I think it's going to be good for him because it's a system that's in place.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's Ken Hitchcock's last year, but truthfully, they've probably got somebody pretty much in line to follow pretty much what Ken Hitchcock had in place because if it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Yao.
Mike
Yao's the next, and he's basically taking over as soon as Hitchcock retires. And that's kind of why I like the trade for Yakupov. The pick that they did wind up trading is a conditional 3rd, though. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had that written down.
No. This report just said a pick, and definitely conditional. That makes it even better of a deal for Edmonton. But I think it's definitely. I think the Blues fleeced.
I mean, it's
I think
solidifies.
Yeah, Yakupov's going to be a star in St. Louis.
It also solidifies my pick for St. Louis winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, well, big time.
And you know what? It would be crazy to see because St. Louis last year, I swore they were going to make it. I swore last year they were going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals after they beat Chicago. I was like, oh, they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Right. There's not a doubt in my mind. Now, I also thought Nashville was going to wind up in the Western Conference Finals facing them, as obviously you're not right all the time. But, but still, I like this move. I like it. I think Edmonton has no choice. I think they really need to look at it this way. Okay, we've got our young offensive core that we're trying to build around McDavid. What we need to do is we need to kind of get some depth in here, and more importantly, we need to get some defense in here.
Right. Perfect segue and a corresponding move. The Edmonton Oilers agreed to terms on a 1-year contract with defenseman Chris Russell, who had some success with the Calgary Flames, but kind of flamed out there in Calgary, excuse the pun. and he's going to add, they got Adam Larson from the Devils in the Taylor Hall deal. So they're putting the nice defense together there in Edmonton.
That they are. They signed Chris Russell probably minutes after that trade.
Yep.
I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Get your defense going. You've already got the offense. There's no debating that. Not only that, with that trade to Taylor Hall to New Jersey, that ease up more opportunities for guys like Connor McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and the rest of them. You're not as congested as you were prior to this. So this actually really turns out to be a benefit for multiple reasons with the two moves that they've made during this offseason.
Right.
So Edmonton's going to be interesting this year. Keep your eyes on Edmonton. Not saying they'll make the playoffs this year, but we say it every year though. I mean, keep your eyes on Edmonton, but
I said it last week that they'll be a surprise team.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You definitely did.
Moving on to the Florida Panthers, a couple news and notes here. They named Derek McKenzie their new captain, with Aaron Ekblad and Yossi Jokinen to serve as alternates. Thought that was pretty interesting.
That is interesting because you would think that Aaron Ekblad would be the shoo-in to be the captain. You would think that normally. I mean, McKenzie's not a bad player though. I mean, but
probably strong in leadership. It has to be, right?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I think that's the major reason why Keith Primo was captain. I mean, he wasn't a goal scorer, that's for sure, but he damn sure was a leader, and that's why we all loved him when he was in Philadelphia. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I got to go back to that time period for the Flyers because I loved Keith Primo. He was so awesome as captain. I loved Keith Primo. He was great.
Ironically, you say he wasn't known as a goal scorer, but I know him from one key goal.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so great with those 5 OT. Suck on that, Pittsburgh. Anyway.
Yep. Now, bad news for Florida Panthers. Jonathan Huberdeau is to miss 3 to 4 months because of a leg injury. That's definitely going to hurt Florida Panthers.
Yeah, that's huge. Florida right now, ooh, that's bad. Right now, you cannot afford to lose Huberdeau at the beginning of the season. I mean,
especially for that length.
Yeah, especially for that length. I mean, you can recover, but it's going to take a hell of a lot of work for you to recover if you wind up going as bad as some people may think you will be at the beginning of this season.
Right. Last but not least, 2 signings to say restricted free agent Johnny Gaudreau signed 6-year contract. You were right, Brian. It was 6 years with the Calgary Flames. And Lightning re-signed. This just went down about 12 p.m. today. They re-signed Nikita Kucherov to a 3-year deal with an average value of $4.766 million. Ford led the team in points in the 2015-16 season.
Yeah, that got reported while we were doing FDN, and I wanted to say something then, but I was like, wait.
Save it for the happy.
Save it for the happy hour. Yeah, it is a great move. Great move. Yeah.
For Tampa Bay.
Tampa is such a dangerous team. Tampa has got such a nasty offense. You do not want to face them. If I could choose which teams not to face during the regular season, Tampa would be one of those teams. I do not want to face Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're my pick to win the cup this year.
Oh God, there'll be 2 cups in Tampa Bay. It's bad enough there's one. That 2004 one should have been the Flyers. Damn it! Damn it! Damn you, Robert Esch! Damn you! I hate you! I hate you for screwing up that Game 7. Damn you! Anyway,
or clearly, then it shouldn't have been the Flyers Cup. It should have been Tampa's. Tampa beat them fair and square.
I'm not saying Tampa didn't beat them fair and square, but if we had won, we could have beat Calgary. We could have beaten Calgary.
Yeah, but we never would have gotten to see Vinny LeCavalier fight Jerome McGinley.
Yeah, I mean, both of them can actually fight. So that was a good fight. I'm not going to lie. It was.
That was a fun series to watch.
It was a fun series. I'm not going to lie. But it would have been fun, too, anyway. It would have been young versus old, still. It would have been kind of fun that way, too.
Well, that wasn't that the...
You're just too old.
Wasn't that kind of the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals with Philadelphia and Chicago?
Well, Flyers weren't that old. I
No,
mean,
but they had some age.
they had some age, but Chris Pronger was most of that age. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was still good. So that doesn't really, that's irrelevant. So,
Does it help that your goaltender was a career AHL player?
hey, listen, we bought into the Michael Leighton madness. He had a career year. We went to the Stanley Cup Finals because of it. Anyone can have a career year.
Well,
and
not
go to the
even.
Stanley
It
Cup
wasn't
Finals.
even because of him. It was because of Brian Boucher.
Well, Boucher got us into the postseason, but then Michael Leighton picked up where Boucher left off.
Because Boucher got hurt.
Yes. Boucher would have been the starter throughout the entire postseason if he had not got hurt. And I still think Boston did that on purpose, by the way.
And
I
I
still
love-
think Boston did that on purpose.
And I still love the people that say, "Oh yeah, bring back Michael Leighton."
Oh, God.
I'm like, I
Bring
heard
back Michael Leighton.
there was right. I was at a bunch of Flyers games and I heard people yelling that "Bring back Leighton." I'm like, what?
Bring back
get outta
Leighton.
here.
Are you high? Like, bring back Leighton.
Bring back
Did you
Leighton.
forget 2011? 2011 Leighton was terrible.
Yep.
Oh, my God. He couldn't
Talking about
stop
every
anything.
year he was terrible.
Well, no, not 2010 was his one good year.
He
Every
had
other
5
year,
good games.
5 good games. He had a good season. He had a
You
good
say so.
season in 2010.
If you say so.
Don't get me wrong. He had help. Bush helped him. I'm just saying.
If you say so.
Hey, listen. The Flyers have had mediocre goalies and have had career years with mediocre goalies. It's happened all the time.
If you say so.
Okay. All right. Whatever. We're not gonna agree on this. But anyway.
Michael Leighton's garbage.
And I'm not arguing that. That's the problem I'm having here. Is I'm not arguing you. I know Michael Leighton's garbage. We all know Michael Leighton's garbage. Rob knows Michael Leighton was garbage.
Hot garbage.
We all know this. Doug doesn't even watch hockey from the FDN, and he would know Michael Leighton was garbage.
Speaking of that, just a quick WWE talk. Wasn't it great when the New Day brought in that sign and it said "hot garbage"? I was like,
yeah. That was great from us. That was great. He totally stole. You should sue him. You should sue New Day for everything they got, including those tag titles.
I don't want to influence the power of positivity. You know what I mean?
The power of positivity. The power of positivity to sue your ass. Anyway. What? We're just going to let that one hang?
We're just going to let that one
All right, then. We're just going to let that one hang.
I'm answering one of our YouTubers.
No,
trying to
not
chat,
you.
man.
Not
Yeah.
you. Calm down. You're getting all hostile on me here. Jesus. I know.
It's hockey season.
It
It's
is
time
hockey
to be
season.
hostile.
It's hockey season, damn it.
I'm going to pull that jersey right over your head.
He actually is wearing a hockey jersey.
Yes,
too.
and I am wearing a hockey jersey. But any other news around the NHL?
And that it would be it, probably.
All right, then. So,
I'm sure there's more news, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Screw the rest of the NHL. They're all a bunch of scumbags. Gary Bettman's the biggest one. But anyway.
Brian, you know of anything else going down around the league?
I'm looking that up right now. I know there's been a bunch of players that have been picked up off of waivers. I believe P.A. Parento got picked up by New Jersey. I'm trying to find that list. Here we go. P.A. Parento claimed by Devils.
Yes, that is true.
Let's see what else. Tyler Seguin expected to play Stars opener. Apparently he was hurt. Nothing really big that I'm seeing.
Okay, then. It's all that calm before the storm. That calm before the opening day. Before all that crap hits the fan. And then you start seeing a lot of stuff to the point where we won't be able to talk about all of it on the show.
Yes.
But until that time, though.
Can I say, how the hell does Mason Raymond make the second line? Sorry.
Practice.
Go ahead. Talk.
Like, seriously, Mason Raymond. What has he done?
Well, he had a hell of a career in Vancouver.
Yeah, what has he done since? I don't get it.
Maybe he went down on somebody and they put him on the second line. Think about it. Maybe. I'm just saying it's possible. Humans are humans. Maybe he slept with the right guy's wife.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just saying, like, if you think about it, look at the team that the Ducks have.
No, I know what it is. He went down on the coach's wife in Anaheim, and he was going to be on the first line, but then he degraded him to the second line. That's what happened.
For poor performance.
yeah. He couldn't keep it up long enough. Like his career. Anyway.
I won't even lie. I didn't even know who the hell Mason Raymond was. So,
He was
on
like
the second line.
He was one of the top players in Vancouver for a long time when Vancouver was really, really good.
Yeah, back in their Stanley Cup Finals appearance days back in the day.
Yeah.
When they totally bombed out of a Stanley Cup they should have won. God, Vancouver. I'm sorry. I know I've been giving you a hard time for years for this, but seriously, man, how do you screw up a cup that is handed to you? Seriously, the NHL had it all glossed up and everything. Gary Bettman's literally handing it to your captain, and you just said, nope, let Boston have it. We like to suffer. We're a glutton for punishment, so go ahead, take it. Let Boston have it. It's not like they haven't had enough sports championships in the 21st century. Like, seriously.
Screw Boston.
Yeah, I know. Like, seriously, how many titles has Boston had in the 21st century alone?
Looks like I'm sitting here with a cup of haters.
Couple haters.
Hey, when you're in the Eastern Conference, you are a hater of Boston. You don't
I'm
know.
in the Western Conference.
You're in
and
the
I hate
West.
Boston.
Well, then there, you should be with us. We should have 3 haters around here right now.
I just had a little rooting interest in Cleveland Indians. I was glad they swept the Red Sox, but that's
I wasn't.
sport.
I wanted to see Poppy win one more.
Did you?
Yeah.
Screw Big Poppy.
Doesn't he have like 3?
He's got 3. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's a lot right there.
Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane have 3 championships. What's your point?
Yeah. Those
So
scumbags.
when is Chicago going to win another? Chicago's going to be on a small downtrot right now this year. Not a lot, but they're not going to win the Stanley Cup this year.
No, St. Louis will.
Yeah. I think that's safe to say. It's St. Louis's time now. Took it a while. Took them like since the 60s to get back to it.
Their time is over. It's your time.
Now go ahead, take it. All right. Speaking of time, we got to go to commercial. I know, it sucks, but we got to go. All right, when we come back, it's time for us to continue our roundup of the Flyers season. We're going to talk about some major matchups. We're going to go through our rivals games, and we're going to see how much fun it's going to be. I can't wait. I'm so pumped for that. I know I've been saying it a million times, but I cannot help it. My ADD is kicking in. I'm so focused on Friday. I cannot wait. Flyers hockey, baby, back in town. All right. When we come back, we go through more of the Flyers schedule. That is brought to you by none other than BMW of Atlantic City. If you ever wanted the ultimate driving experience, then go to BMW of Atlantic City. They're located at exit 37 of the Parkway at 6037 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township. Give them a call at 609-568-9200 or visit them on the web at www.bmwofatlanticcity.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour, and we'll be right back after this.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
HUDRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
We don't give trophies to the face that comes in second place. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in beautiful Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I am Matt Tassuti, along with Rob DePove Povia and Brian Darkwing Daly. And we are brought to you by the Scanzano Sports Center. They're located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com.
Ow! No, I'm just kidding.
I had to wake you up somehow.
Why
Anyway.
would you throw stuff
I am
around?
awake! I'm just chill. Feeling the cool of the ice, getting ready for Wednesday night.
Ice. Anyway.
Baby.
Stop.
Well, okay.
Collaborate and listen. No, sorry.
No. Go, Ninja. Go, Ninja. Go. Anyway.
Thank you.
There we go.
I threw up on my mouth a little bit.
What's wrong with the Ninja Turtles?
What was wrong with the Ninja Turtles?
No, I was thinking of Vanilla Ice. That's all.
Oh, yeah. And that weird
Come
looking,
on.
like, Justin
Come
Bieber-like
on.
hairdo he had back in the 90s.
Hold on, time out. Come on. You can't tell me that Vanilla Ice and That's My Boy was not absolutely
that was hilarious.
hysterical.
Oh, my God.
yeah,
I was
he was.
dying.
Yeah.
I was dying when he was in that movie. Oh, my God. I loved how it was his
Great movie, too.
It was his uncle. Oh, my God. That was great.
You mean my uncle's been Vanilla Ice this entire time? Uncle Vanny's Vanilla Ice?
I didn't sleep with your mother. That was great.
Tubular.
All right.
Totally tubular, dude.
As we've been talking about, we've been previewing the Flyers season, but now I want to talk to you guys about the impact. Like it was saying on the title, Konecny and Provorov are officially members of the Flyers roster. I got to know, what impact do you think we will see, gentlemen, with this addition to the Flyers roster? So let's start with Provorov. What impact do you think he's going to have on that blue line?
I think he's going to, and this is going to be my answer for both, so I'm going to give you just one answer for both, but explain both separately.
All right.
I think they're going to be slow, believe it or not. I think once we get into the regular season and we start seeing the real speed and the regular players more often, I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow start. But overall, if they stay the entire season, there will be profound differences between the start of the season and the end of the season for each of these players. But I think Provorov will wind up being one of those guys that he's going to start off slow, but come the end of the season, he's going to be a force. They just need to get need to get the playing time in.
I couldn't disagree with you more. I think both of these players are going to be hot right out of the gate. They're ready to play. They're young. they're virile, and they're ready to attack, especially on this team's power play. A power play that really dipped in the rankings last year. Konecny's going to be a shot into the arm to the forwards. Provorov, he probably will see a little power play time here and there. He'll have a physical presence. He has a good hard shot. I wouldn't say as good of a slapper wrister as Gostisbehere, but geez, pretty close indeed. I expect big things. I think their impact's going to be felt immediately. It's going to start to congeal some of the talent that's been on this team, like Wayne Simmons and a Braden Shen when he comes back from suspension.
I mean, I want to see how these guys do first before and that's my biggest thing is these guys have only really played preseason hockey. They haven't exactly played against NHL ready rosters. So yeah, you see him play well against the New York Rangers preseason squad. You've seen him play well against the Boston Bruins preseason roster. They haven't seen a team like the Kings yet or Arizona.
Not the NHL, but I mean, Konecny playing in the Sarnia Sting played a lot, gets a lot of tough competition, and we all know his numbers from there or whatever. And Provorov, the same deal.
Well, I'm going to look at it this way. I do see the point from both sides. I do see your point, Brian, where I can understand them coming in slow because they will be facing the regularity errors. I even said last week that they are not facing everyday starters in the preseason. Or I think I said that 2 weeks ago. But point being is that does kind of put a little bit, you got to put an asterisk next to that. Even though as good as it is, you got to always say, listen, they are facing the other prospects. They're not always facing the NHL regular starters. But Shane Gostisbehere came in mid-season against NHL regular starters, and he made an impact like that. He didn't even need to worry about starting off or getting something going. He got something going in game one in his season.
In his defense, that wasn't his first NHL regular season game either.
It wasn't his first ever, but it might as well have been because he hadn't been on the team for a while, and he hadn't really been, and he had been injured too.
Right,
so it was
ACL
kind of
injury.
So it was a big concern right there about him coming into the Flyers at that time. So, but it definitely was a big statement when he came back and he made that kind of a statement right there.
Right, and my point is he got his feet wet. These guys haven't had their feet wet yet. Come the end of the season, I mean, as the season progresses, I'm going to see Konecny and Provorov get better and better and better. I just think it's going to be a little bit of a slower start.
No, I hear what you're saying, Brian, and there's validity in what you're saying. I mean, nothing compares to the speed, to the ferocity that is in the NHL. That's the level of play that even though they played in the preseason, they still haven't seen yet.
Right.
I'm just saying, based on what I know of both of these gentlemen with their talent, they'll be able to overcome. Is my opinion.
It's going to be interesting because you know what? Nothing is more motivating than being on a team for the first time and having to face NHL regular competition. You want to prove to the whole world that I do belong here. And you're a young guy. And a lot of people say, I don't want to go back to the Phantoms. I don't want to go back to Lehigh Valley. It's not a bad place, but I don't want to go there. The reason why is because I don't want to be a minor leaguer. I want to be in the NHL. I want to be a Flyer. And that's the strongest motivator you can give to a young kid getting onto the team. And I think that's definitely going to be one of the major factors. Not only that, we've seen the maturity from them. They're already at that level. That's why they're on the team. I mean, I don't really see too much concern in that, Mark, because we've seen that calm demeanor from Ivan Provorov already. We've seen the maturity and the beautiful IQ that I've seen from Travis Konecny out there on the ice, finding that open man, finding that passing lane, being able to feed anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere, and the speed that he has to do it, too. He can make a split-second decision before that split second even happens. I think that it's really hard to put that skill set and, keep it down.
No, that's why I'm saying as the season progresses, these guys are only going to get better. They're already showing the poise of an NHL veteran. But when you get a guy that's going to run up on you, like when the Flyers have to face a team like Winnipeg, and you have Dustin Byfuglien coming up on you, and he lays into you, it's going to be a whole nother ballgame.
So what you're saying, Brian, is they will have a major impact, just not right away.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's just as the season progresses.
And I do hear what you're saying because that NHL, the new blood kind of feel to it. You look right at them, all right, they're in the NHL now. welcome to the NHL, and you hit them just a little bit harder than you'd hit the veteran. Why?
Right.
Because you just want to got to put them through their trials, got to put them through that, a little bit of that pain. So you hit them just a little bit harder than you would. Not only that, they're on the other team, so why do you care? So
And no offense to junior hockey or the American Hockey League, both great organizations, but you made the team. You want to stay on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Hextall says they are here to stay. More than likely, they are here to stay. But you play poorly, there's a lot of depth on this team. So you could go right back to where you came from. So there's a lot of pressure there. Will they be able to rise to the occasion? I say yes.
I think they will. I don't think there's really any question. I think we're all three in agreement that they will definitely rise to the
absolutely.
occasion. No matter slow start or not slow start, I think they definitely will not be debated of, maybe they should go back down. No, I think that they're going to be in a Flyers jersey for the season. I think we're going to see them.
I think so too, regardless of the slow start or not. I think they made this team on their merits, and they made it for a reason.
And real fast, though, I got to ask you guys, what's the game you're most looking forward to for this regular season? The one that it's been simmering in you. You've wanted to see them play these guys again since last year. And you could do this for the Ducks, Brian. What is that one team you've wanted to see them play? Because me personally, I have been wanting and waiting for them to face off with Pittsburgh again. Because I didn't like the way we played against them last year.
Yeah, horrible.
We played terrible against them last year. I want to see us get revenge. I want to see us beat the crap out of the Stanley Cup champions, both literally and, metaphorically and physically. I actually want to see that happen right before my very eyes, just like it did back in 2012 when we beat the crap out of them in the playoffs. That was fun. Those were good days.
Good
Those
times.
were good times. Good
Yeah, I went
times.
to the Flyers game last year where they played Pittsburgh, and the Flyers just looked like complete ass.
Yeah, they were terrible.
There was just every aspect of that game they were getting beat.
And you know what it is? I think Pittsburgh got the coach they wanted. They finally got the coach they needed. Dan Bylsma, as good as he was, and he is good. I mean, he's proven that with Buffalo. But here's the thing. He would like to try and match the Flyers in toughness. Big mistake. You don't face Philadelphia and expect to out-tough them. You can't do that. The Flyers love that game. They thrive on that game. When you try to go toe-to-toe with them and try to go fist for fist with them, what do you think is going to happen? Of course you're going to lose the game. You don't do that to the Broad Street Bullies. The Bullies beat you up. Everyone knows this. Apparently you didn't understand that. I don't understand. How do you not know that?
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of what Ron Hextall is doing with his club is he's starting to steer away from that.
Yeah.
You still have your physical players, dumbasses like Gudis, but you have guys down in the system like Sam Morin who can do it, and he can keep his self-control and not get suspended for doing stupid things, but he's for the most part, he's steering away from the Broad Street Bully name, and he's starting to mold this team into something that can compete with these other teams that are built to be speed, finesse, goal-scoring teams.
All right, real fast. Rob, who do you want to see the Flyers face the most? Who have you been waiting to see this whole offseason? What team you want to see the Flyers smack around?
Man, this is some real couch talk right here. I'm enjoying this spot right now. I'm going to have to wait to darn near Christmas for the game that I want to see, and that's the first game at home against the team that knocked us out of the playoffs, and that's the Washington Capitals.
Okay.
I think this team is, really surprised them how well they could match up with the Caps, and we learned that during that series despite losing it. And now they improved. I want to, deliver their ass on a silver platter.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Send Ovechkin home crying.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Talking about bitches. He's a little bitch right there. Hits everybody under the sun, and then you sneeze on him. I'm slowly starting to lose respect for Ovechkin. I thought he was so much different than Crosby, but he might not be.
No, he's really not.
They're both prima donnas. Anyway, so your turn, Brian. The Ducks. Who do you want to see them smack around this year?
October 26th, I want to see him smack around Nashville.
Ooh.
The team that eliminated us in the playoffs last year. But I that one stung more than any other Game 7 loss that I've seen.
That's because it was unexpected.
It was very unexpected.
No one expected that. I actually felt bad when I saw it happen, too. I was like, oh, I feel so bad for Brian right now. His team just got beat by Nashville.
Sat there. I was like, oh.
But anyway,
Hands on my head.
I thought you were going to say the Ducks Flyers game.
yeah. I was thinking that myself, too. But anyway.
I was going to say that just to be a fan, but
No.
But anyway.
The Predators game. Good pick.
That will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. It is last call time, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to see you next week here on A2DRadio.com. This was brought to you, like we said before, by the Scanzano Sports Center located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour. We will see you guys next week on A2DRadio.com.